Hello and welcome back to Well Played, everybody, presented by The Skim. I'm Blake Morgan.
I'm Caroline Hendershot, and Blake is back from vacation.
Girl, it's been a minute.
How was it? I have like so many questions. I feel like you were gone for 8 years.
I basically was. I haven't like fully worked in like 3 weeks, which is crazy.
Oh, you know your serial killer move? I meant to tell you this yesterday.
What?
You got home from, how long were you actually on vacation? Like 3 weeks, 2 and a half?
I think like 15 or 16 days.
Okay. You come home on a Sunday and then you work the following Monday.
Yeah.
That is psycho.
Well, I'm very lucky because the way the jet lag is working, I woke up naturally yesterday at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So it was fine. And I was
Okay.
up. By the time I saw you on Zoom, like I was fully alert, fully awake.
You looked great.
Yeah, but I did have the scary Sunday that were very intense.
That's the thing.
know?
Like I could not. You got home at like 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
and then woke up the next morning.
And actually, I landed in Newark, and then I had to get in. My roommate and I shared an Uber to Brooklyn, so it was like an extra hour of travel.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, that
Sure
is
enough.
insane behavior.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you made it home. What was your favorite part of the trip?
Probably the skiing.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't ski. Like, I'm not a fucking skier.
Really?
I did not grow up in that kind of family. It's a very expensive sport.
It is.
But when you go abroad, I've been skiing 3 times as an adult. Mm-hmm. One of them was in Killington, Vermont, and the other 2 times were in Japan.
Whoa.
In
Casual.
Japan, I know. But in Japan, the reason why is because it's so cheap. The lift tickets are like $45.
That's insane.
The rentals, I mean, like $100. I don't know. But for
Yeah.
2 days,
Pretty good.
it's good.
No, that's pretty
So
good.
I just feel like I'm only going to go skiing in Japan now.
Okay.
But I got really good, is my
Casual
point.
flex.
I went down unintentionally.
I'm only going to go skiing in Japan. Sorry.
At deadass, though, it's cheaper, I think, to like fly to Japan and ski there. If you spent a week at Whistler, like you're cooked. Like your
Yeah, for
travel
sure.
budget out the window after
Yeah.
day 3.
Yeah, I don't know that it's just not in my...
Are you a skier?
Yeah, I grew up. We didn't like grow up every winter going skiing, but like we would grow up going skiing like here and there. But then once we got to like high school sport age,
Yeah.
then coaches get weird about that, and then you like can't really
Right.
miss break. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in college, I wasn't allowed to ski.
I will say I accidentally went down a part of a black diamond.
That is like the least shocking Blake
What do you
thing to me.
mean?
Like you accidentally went down a black diamond.
No,
Yeah.
no. It was shocking to me because obviously I had no idea what was happening until
No.
after the fact.
Okay.
So that was a little slightly traumatizing, but I did it, and I did it. I think I only fell once.
Oh my God,
I know.
you're amazing.
I know.
Did you pizza the whole way down?
No, I kind of nailed my turns this time around.
really
It was
proud of
great.
you.
I was give myself a little pat on the back. Oh,
Wow.
speaking of like pat on the back and what I'm wearing, I actually have to do a little outfit
Oh yeah.
change.
Okay. Yeah. You were saying something's underneath.
Well, I'm just wearing this new hoodie that I got, and it says Coach on it.
Oh my God.
But the reason why it's fun is because we will be doing a lot of Coach talk towards the later part of this episode.
Wait, that's so cute. Where did you get
I'm
it?
literally taking this off now, though. I got it in Japan. I got
course
it
you
at my favorite thrift store, Super Book Off Bazaar.
Well, it's meant to be because it's sporty chic.
And it also is like about New York. It says stuff.
Yeah, it says New York.
New York, something else. It literally has a little martini glass
that's so
embroidered on.
cute. Look
And it's
at
literally
you.
like Coach brand.
Yeah.
And so obviously, I mean, typically I'm not like keen on their designs,
Yeah.
but this is so cute because it's just, if you want to be a little freak, head to the YouTube channel, check out my
little
sweatshirt.
freak.
You can get
No,
a
it's
whole
really cute. I like
rundown of what
that.
it actually looks like. Otherwise, I'm not going to describe it to you visually because
Yeah. You gotta
go to the YouTube channel. You got to work for
you
it.
gotta
I'm
see
sorry.
it. You gotta see it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last question about your trip. What was the favorite thing you ate?
Shit.
I knew that was gonna be hard for you.
I think it's always the sushi. It's
Yeah.
always the sushi. My boyfriend and I discovered this sushi, I don't know, not maestro, but like a sushi master, if you will, who does omakase in his grandparents' town,
Okay.
which is outside of Tokyo. And it's like $80. So good. I've never met a chef who's so humble, but like knows the culinary art so well. Because I don't like uni,
Yeah.
which is sea urchin. And then he did this thing where he didn't tell me, but throughout the course of our omakase, he would sneak uni in, and I wouldn't even notice. But he would manipulate it in a way that I didn't even know it was uni.
And it was like delicious.
It was fucking amazing, and I had no idea. And I was like, that. And he's like, because I told him at the beginning of the meal, it's really nice when you go, you tell them certain things that you don't like or
Right.
you do like, which last year I was like, no, I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to be that girl who tries everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get the omakase and I'm like, I actually don't fucking like this.
Yeah.
I want to spit it out, but that's really rude. And so I didn't. But this year I was like, no, I'm pulling down the facade.
Wow.
Told him I didn't like uni, and then he
tricked you.
He did.
Gotcha.
He pulled a fast one on me.
Yeah, he did.
Yoshida-san, that's his name.
Do you feel like that ruins sushi for you when you come home, though?
Oh, absolutely. But you know what's funny?
tough.
I did order sushi for work today, like work lunch. We get a little group order.
I can't.
So I'm immediately going to be
maybe add that onto the list of serial killers.
I know. Anyway, so the trip was really great. I missed you, though. And you and Claudia killed it last week. I did get to listen.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
It was very cute. I got up to speed on what I missed in the sports world because it really has been a minute. It's kind of crazy. Like, the 2-week break felt like a long time.
I know. There was also so many stories like that happened over Christmas and all of that. So it's just, the sports world does not stop. Let me tell you.
And that actually brings us to our next point, which is that obviously these crazy wildfires in California broke out last week. Your brother lives in LA, doesn't he?
He lives in San Diego.
Okay. Yeah. My brother lives in Santa Monica. He just moved there in like October with his 2 kids, wife. They ended up evacuating. Their house was fine, but still they had to. It's just like crazy.
It's just really sad. And I know obviously the majority of people feel absolutely heartbroken for LA. There's some monsters out there that are like, oh, well, the celebrities' homes that burnt down. I don't feel bad. It's like, no, people are losing literally all of their belongings and memories and all of that. So it's really tough. Our heart goes out to LA. Anyone who is affected, because I feel like everyone knows someone in LA or has family in LA. So we're all praying for you. We're sending our thoughts and definitely trying to help out in any way that we can.
Absolutely. And like you said, the reason why I was like, oh, this is like a connecting point is because it's true. Like the world of sports doesn't stop despite tragedies. And we'll see how that happened, in regards to the wildfires because there was some news there. So
yeah, there's definitely a lot of sports related feel-good moments.
Feel good, yeah. I'm excited to get into those.
Yeah.
So
shall we?
We shall.
Okay, let's. Why don't you tee us off?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we begin playing the field with a story about one NFL team helping another in a time of need. This one's about the Los Angeles Rams who had to relocate their playoff game last night from LA to Phoenix because thankfully the Cardinals, they showed up and they showed out for their LA brothers.
They did. Sorry. According to a tweet, sorry. I had to clear my throat.
The most dramatic cough ever.
According to a tweet from NFL insider Adam Schefter, the Cardinals organization sent, quote, 2 of the team's 777 planes to Los Angeles. Sorry, that was like so pilot's daughter of me. With the 777.
I was going to be like, Caroline, they say 777, right?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, right. But
my dad's...
He says 777.
It's a 777.
Okay.
Picking up the Rams team, its staff, their families, 6 dogs and 2 cats. Yes, 6 dogs and 2 cats. I heard that repeatedly last night on the Monday Night Football broadcast and brought them all to Arizona. So just like the nicest.
Yeah.
I just obviously they're competitors and, rivals, whatever. They all compete against each other throughout the season. But it's these kinds of moments where like a community comes together where I believe in humanity again. And it's just like the small things that you can do. This isn't small, but like for them, it's probably small to just like send the planes that you're not using over.
And to have your, enemy, rival, whatever, play in your stadium and just kind of have to like suck it up.
Yeah.
Because you're doing the right thing. I mean, that also takes a little guts, but it was just really nice to hear the
just
story.
like lovely. And also to be able to kind of bring comfort to the families, like that is probably such a relief to all of them. So love that. And it was just like simple, easy, and just like
and
a
it's
very
one
nice
of like
gesture.
the nicer headlines I've seen come out of this. We need some more of those. So
the Rams did end up winning last night, 27-9, and I was like, wow, they're playing kind of out of their mind because I think the Vikings have been having an insane season. So I think everyone was maybe leaning towards the Vikings winning, and then I was like, oh my God, you know why? It's like they're playing for something bigger than themselves,
right? And
that is almost the most uniting thing that a team can do is like you just stop caring about the little minutia and it's just so much bigger. So they played great
Good job, Rams.
they will be advancing in the playoffs.
Voila. So moving on with more playing the field stories, the playoffs, as we know, are in full swing. And if you're looking to rep your favorite team, well, some of you at least, you can finally get your hands on Taylor Swift's favorite NFL apparel. Yes, you heard it here first. If you just slap on a blonde wig, call yourself Taylor, not quite. We're going bootleg edition Taylor Swift. You could also look like her. Tell us why.
Saying I could be blonde.
You could. I mean, you could do anything you want. Will it look good? TBD.
TBD. Fashion designer Kristin Juszcyzk, she's also the wife of 49ers fullback Kyle Juszczyk, teamed up with the NFL Fanatics and the co-founder of Skims to release the new apparel brand Off Season. She teamed up with Emma Grede, which specialized in Kristin's now famous puffer coats and outerwear featuring some of the most popular NFL teams.
Yeah, so Kristin went viral last year when, of course, Taylor Swift donned her Chiefs jacket that Kristin had. I keep saying Christian.
It's okay.
Kristin had made. And so now, the off season is letting people get their hands on the much sought after jackets. Price tag looking about $375, $495 for a jacket.
It is a chunk of change.
See.
Little chunk of change.
I have made purchases at that level before.
For sure.
And also, I mean, her jackets are really cute.
Okay.
And I have heard that women's athletic apparel, not the cutest. Like, we could be doing more. So I think this is like a great step in a better direction. I don't know.
They did say they were like filling a gap in the market because there wasn't like that option for women. Will I say this? Twofold. She like got really famous. I think she got the licensing like early last year in 2024. But she said she did not want to release anything until she knew that the product was going to be like to her standard. So I'm sure that the coats are really warm. Have I tried it? No. Should I try it? Yes. Send us a code. We would love to rep Off Season.
Love to try it.
But she's also like my girl crush. So I'm just very through the roof for her about this. But they have only been selling 5 teams: the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Bills, the Lions, and the 49ers. So, which I think probably was more so like, okay, it's going to come out later in the season. So maybe it's more teams that are bound to be in the playoffs. So maybe that was kind of the decision there. But she's going to get to all 32 teams eventually. But so cool. And like, I just really want to try one on.
I know. I don't even have to have it. Just let me try it.
Yeah. I'll just try it on and then I'll send it back.
Also, Emma Grede, we actually had her on the Skim. We had her and Ashley Graham for a video thing because they do, I think it's like an entrepreneurship show. Yeah. And she was so cool. She's like a British,
so cool,
badass girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just like such a sick entrepreneur and she did help launch Skims or co-found Skims, but then also Good American, which is Khloe Kardashian's brand. So it's like,
she's very tied up in that fashion.
She knows what she's doing.
Yes. I also was reading into Kristin Juszczyk's like, because I know last year when Taylor Swift wore the jacket, she had like, I think maybe 100K followers.
Oh, yeah.
Now she has like 1.2 million followers on Instagram. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Taylor Swift, this kind of reminds me. This relates, okay? Follow me here. So yesterday, Travis Kelce went on the Pat McAfee Show. I love the Pat McAfee Show. I think he's so good at what he does. He's insanely talented. Now, they were just kind of talking about the Chiefs, the playoffs, yada, yada, yada. I think they got a little sidetracked because Pat McAfee was talking to Travis about how much his wife loves Taylor Swift, and they were talking about that, whatever. And then at one point, McAfee goes, yeah, I think there's like an album coming out soon or something because like, everyone's waiting for Reputation.
His fucking
Taylor's
wife's
version.
You're like, Taylor's album might be coming out soon.
Literally. And Travis was like, yeah, I think there's a couple coming out. and then Pat's like, what? And is like, what are you talking about? A couple? Have you heard music? Have you heard some songs? And Travis is like, oh shoot, I've already said too much. And he's like, I can't go there, whatever. So honestly, if you had told Caroline Hendershot back in like 2018 that Travis Kelce was going to know when Reputation Taylor's version was going to come out before anyone else, I would have said you're crazy. And here we are. Here we are. Just like Kristin Juszczyk's 2 worlds are colliding with the NFL and fashion, my 2 worlds have collided with Taylor Swift and the NFL. And it is just every day, it leaves me more and more shocked.
Okay, but what is... As your official non-Swiftie friend,
don't make me.
What is Reputation? What is that?
Oh my God, Blake. Jesus.
This just shows you how tapped I am. Sean probably knows more about this than I do.
I'm honestly really annoyed with you, but I'm going to be nice because you just got back from vacation. Okay, Taylor Swift, you know how she's recording each of her albums, re-recording them because of the rights with Scooter Braun and all of that jazz? Now you call the album Taylor's version when it's the re-recorded one. So you don't listen to like Fearless by Taylor Swift. You listen to like Fearless Taylor's version, you know?
Right, okay.
So she re-recorded all of them. One of the albums left that she still needs to record is Reputation.
I see.
And so that's like one of the ones that she has not yet to re-record. So everyone's like, when's it going to drop? When's it going to drop? Because like all of them were dropping during her Eras tour. So that's the one. And everyone, you know, her with her Easter eggs, everyone has predicted it 17 times over incorrectly because it still has yet to come out. And so
okay, I understand. And you know what? I'm glad that I could be the voice for the people who are too scared to ask what the fuck Reputation Taylor's version is, okay? Before anybody comes for me, it's okay if you're a little ignorant to what's happening in the pop culture world of Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I'm happy I know. Now I can go share this knowledge with somebody else, and it's because of you.
And
Thank
you can only listen to Taylor's version.
Right.
That's the
part
point we want to bring home.
Also, I love that. Did you see that also he was saying something like, I'm feeling 22.
Oh, yeah, because he was like, they were like,
She's in
how's
his
your old
head.
ass feeling heading into playoffs? And he was like, I'm feeling 22. And he was like, oh, I'm feeling 22. Yeah, so.
I thought that was cute.
Love that.
I picked up on that one.
Maybe he's starting to do some Easter eggs too. He's catching on, you know? Rubbing off on him.
Oh my God.
I love this. I'm here for this. Let's start over analyzing what he says too.
Okay.
I think we're on
We're already
something.
kind of there.
I think we're on something.
So while we're on the subject of Kansas City Chiefs, from one to another, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes' new baby.
Yes.
So he and his wife, Brittany, welcomed their third child into the world this past Sunday. And they shared the baby's name. She is little Golden Ray Mahomes. And get this, she's also the third child to be named in a way that alludes to the medals, I shall say. So we have sister Sterling Sky already and brother Patrick Bronze Levon Mahomes III.
Yes.
What do we think about this? Are you for theme-named babies?
You know, I haven't given too much thought about my future babies.
I actually don't believe this. I don't believe you.
Here's
You're
the
the
thing.
type of person that would definitely have a running list, I think.
I do have a list in my phone. But like, I haven't thought of like, oh, do I want to keep it on theme or not? You know?
Right.
Also, doesn't everyone have a list? Am I alone here? But so I love that for them. I think it's too limiting for me. Like
there are only so many medals.
Exactly.
Could I even name another?
And it's
I don't know.
it's even like you know, when someone Kim Kardashian, the K and the K, like I think I am not creative enough to think of a name that I like that follows suit as I continue to have children. I mean, let's be honest, I don't know how many I'm having, whatever. But you know what I do love when people use their maiden name, like women use their maiden name for a baby's either like name or middle name and they go by it. I ain't naming a baby Hendershot. Are you kidding? I'm setting them up for bullying.
Okay. What was your mom's maiden name?
Mancuso?
Oh.
Yeah.
Caroline Mancuso Hendershot. Mouthful.
Yeah.
If she were to do that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's just not... It's not the vibe. So
mine would not
TBD.
be either, yeah.
But I do love it. I just don't think it's practical for me.
Okay. Did you also see that Kylie Kelce, she's talking about her baby names.
Yeah.
And she was like, I think we got to stick to gender neutral.
I love that.
I love it too. What do they got? Like Wyatt, Ellie, and Bennett. They're so cute.
So cute.
I mean, am I biased because my name is Blake? Obviously.
Maybe. But like, I love that.
Yeah.
I've always loved like Blake. I've always loved Ryan, girl or guy. You know, Skylar.
Underrated.
That's a cute one.
Yes.
Yeah. Chase. I've met multiple Chases before. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Edge.
Yeah. You're so edgy and different.
Wait. I'm insufferable.
We're continuing playing the field with a story out of Indiana. A 55-year-old Texas man was arrested on a felony stalking charge in Indianapolis this past weekend after allegedly sending threatening and sexually violent messages to WNBA star Caitlin Clark.
Yes, Caitlin Clark's stalker, Michael Lewis of Denton, Texas, could face up to 6 years in prison, and his threatening messages included very odd text, including, been driving around your house 3 times a day, but don't call the law just yet. The public's allowed to drive by Gainbridge, a.k.a. Caitlin's field house.
Terrifying.
Another said, I'm getting tickets. I'm sitting behind the bench. Oh my God, creepy. And then the last one, he said, they said I was sending threatening texts, but the only thought in my mind was Caitlyn.
Yeah, that is
Ew.
terrifying. So
there's really not much to even
fuel.
say. It's just like sad that no matter what age you are, how far along in your career you are, like this is something that women face.
Yeah.
I was also telling you offline yesterday, but we at the Skim on our other podcast, 9 to 5ish, we had Erin Andrews on, and she was sharing the story about how early in her career, it was probably like 2007 or 9, like she also had a stalker. And she was like, I just thought I was kind of like a nobody. Like I was on my way up in my career. Like nobody even really knew who I was. And yet I still had a stalker. So it's like not beyond the realm of possibility that so many other female athletes, female sports anchors, I mean, anybody really, but anybody of notoriety, this could happen to. And it was just really scary. And she described in that episode just like the PTSD that lasts with her. And she's like, I still have to use a fake name when I go places. And it's just like so scary to have your privacy just
invasion of
breached
privacy
like
completely.
that. And I know that Caitlyn also said that she was like starting to alter her appearance in public so that she wouldn't be seen by this
or
person.
recognized. And it's scary just because like the internet, you can find everything out. And so that aspect is very scary. And specifically for athletes who like their schedule of where they're going to be and stuff, that is really, that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I actually think, random. Do you watch The Bachelor?
Not really.
Okay, I don't either. But when we were in Japan, my friends saw one of the bachelors there with his girlfriend.
Oh.
He was friends with Tyler Cameron. I can't remember his name. But it was funny because my friends were like, oh, he just posted yesterday.
Oh, Matt James?
Perhaps.
And Rachel?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's it.
They're like one of the only couples I know.
Yeah, so I think that he posted just the day prior that they were in like Colorado somewhere, like in Aspen. And my friends were like, well, he's in fucking Japan right now. Like, this makes no sense. And then we realized like, oh wait, they probably do this on purpose so that people
definitely
don't
post
know
in real
where
time.
they are.
Yeah, I try not to post in real time too. And not that I am literally anybody, but like
but again, like you don't know. Like fucking Erin Andrews probably felt the same way. You know what I mean?
And it's just like, you never know who's looking at your stuff. So it's like, don't post real things in real time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good message.
Just a little tip and trick.
Yeah.
Okay, on a much lighter note, Caitlyn is being hailed this week by University of Miami football fans because she is, just follow me.
Okay.
Stay with me.
Yeah. You were trying to describe this to me and I need break it down.
Okay. So she is being hailed as the cause of a butterfly effect that led Georgia quarterback Carson Beck to land at Miami. So here's the trail. Caitlyn beat Haley Van Lith in last year's NCAA tournament, right? Yes. She was at LSU at the time. She then transfers to TCU as a result. She being
Haley.
Haley, yes. Then Haley Cavender reroutes from TCU to Miami for playing time because of that transfer. So then she was like, I don't want to go where Haley Van Lith is.
Right.
I'm going to transfer. So then Haley Cavender's twin sister, Hannah, comes out of retirement to join her at Miami.
So now it's the Cavender twins.
Correct, at Miami. Hannah goes public with her relationship with Carson Beck. Next thing you know, he enters the transfer portal and is joining his girlfriend at Miami this offseason.
Ah, okay. I'm
so
getting it.
So technically, every Miami football fan should be thanking Caitlyn Clark.
I see. I like this.
Thank you.
Connecting of the dots. You did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Wow. And Carson Beck, we like him. He's good. Miami likes him.
I think Miami is very excited about him.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see how it all unfolds
I would imagine
next college football season. Yeah.
So our last story to cover on today's Playing the Field, in case you missed it, tennis star Coco Gauff advanced to the second round of the Australian Open this past weekend. And after the victory, she and fellow stars Jessica Pegula and Iga Swiatek dedicated their first round wins to LA and the firefighters battling the fire.
Yep. She even revealed, quote, I was watching the fire map and the fire's 3 blocks from my house. Meanwhile, the Australian Open doesn't show their own broadcasting rights on YouTube. So how did they get around this, you might ask? They have been broadcasting like, what is the equivalent of a Wii Sports match? It is like these avatars playing tennis, and they have giant heads, and I think the ball looks bigger. It is bizarre. Apparently, like a famous tennis writer said that it's common for the tournament to not own the broadcasting
right,
rights.
They don't show like their human selves.
Right.
They're showing these cartoon selves.
So that's like the way they get around it.
Right.
It's the same kind of concept, I guess, as like the Nickelodeon slime games for the NFL. Here's the thing. I love sports so much. I've never watched the Nickelodeon slime thing. It's not for me. I am watching to see the actual human perform these incredibly athletic feats.
What are you supposed to do when you don't have the rights, Caroline?
I ain't watching a Wii sports match.
Okay, but also to be fair, the Nickelodeon slime, whatever you're talking about, is for children.
Yeah.
It's not for you. It was not made for you.
But well, I don't think I love any sport enough to sit down and watch whatever that is for hours on end.
Well, and you know what the weirder part is that they still include like the human grunts. Because you know tennis, they're grunters. Let's be honest. Have you heard Serena? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very odd to see the cartoon grunting with a human voice.
Ain't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a fan.
I also saw actually though, out of the Open this past weekend, Naomi Osaka.
Yeah.
She shared that like while she was there, she had someone go back to her house and get her daughter's like birth certificates from the house because her house was like also 3 blocks from the fire.
Yeah.
So crazy and sad to have to like think about that while you're at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Really terrible.
But yeah, I'm not here for the Wii Sports.
You know. Not here for it.
If it was like a certain character, do you think? Okay.
No.
Okay. No. I'm just gonna put that one down. Okay. We're continuing this episode of Well Played as we do every week with our roundup of all the NFL playoff action you need to be talking about. It's time for Tuesday Morning Quarterback.
It was a busy weekend in the NFL with 6 games spanning Saturday to Monday night. And here's who will be joining the top-seeded Chiefs and Lions in the second round. Over in the AFC, the Bills beat the Broncos, so they will be taking on the Ravens, who beat their rival, the Steelers. And the Texans pulled off an upset of the Chargers, so they will face the Chiefs.
Meanwhile, the Commanders took down the Bucs with the last-second field goal, so they'll be facing the Lions in Detroit. The Rams beat the Vikings last night, so that means they'll play the surging Eagles, who are bolstered by the cool, calm, and collected play of star receiver A.J. Brown. Hendy, can you tell the class why everyone is talking about this young man?
Okay, so during Sunday's 20-10 victory over the Packers, A.J. Brown was caught on camera reading a book on the sidelines. Insane. This sparked a series of questions. What's the book? Why is he reading during a game? And was it a sign of frustration with his receiving numbers? Okay, well, Brown cleared it all up. He turns out it was a self-help book called Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy. And get this, Brown said that he actually brings the book to every game, but this was just the first time cameras spotted him reading. He also said, I just like to read. So I wrote this down. The book Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy that A.J. Brown was reading on the sidelines yesterday moved from 523,497th on Amazon's list to number 1.
What?
Overnight.
Oh
bestseller.
My God.
Number 1 bestseller on Amazon right now.
That is insane.
I have so many questions, but mostly how did a camera not catch him reading a book on the sidelines before this if he does it at every game?
I know. This is also
I was shook.
Yeah. Also, it's like, AJ Brown, I like to read too, but if I'm caught reading at my desk, do you know how many, like, I will be sent to HR?
Yeah, you'd get like a stern talking to.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. It is like very wide receiver diva energy because it's like, you know, they're stereotypically cast as the diva. And so it's like, I need my self-help book right now. And like maybe that's, you know, everyone has their knack for what helps them to get ready.
Well, he said it's to lock in. He's like, I read the first page of the book. And honestly, I was like reading it this morning. I was like, you know what? That might help me lock in too.
Yeah, like maybe it grounds him or just gives him some perspective.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, the multitasking is insane because I can't do that for my life.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wanted to ask you, being on the field, like the rush, the noise, the kerfuffle.
I can't hear myself think, let alone
That's like, I can't believe that he's actually reading this and internalizing it.
Yeah, so maybe he has like highlighted a couple things and then he just like reads those.
Well, he does. He shared some of them, I think, on social.
But like maybe he just reads those like on repeat, not like actually reading the whole book, you know? It's just like a couple lines.
I liked reading about the author too. I think he worked for the Cubs in some capacity, the Chicago Cubs, like in baseball. And he said it took him like 5 years to research this book and to write it. And it was just, he wanted to help baseball players like find the confidence they need to be better players in the field.
Maybe I'm going to read this book.
I know.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm like, what? Also, where did he find it?
Could you imagine? No, he brings it with him to every game.
No. But I mean, like, where did he find out about this book?
I bet someone recommended it to him, like a coach or maybe someone, you know? I don't think that's that crazy.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if he was reading like Twilight on the sideline?
I was going to ask you, like, do you have books that you wish you read? I have a couple.
I don't have like anything in particular. I was just more so imagining him reading like
something slutty,
like Akhtar or whatever, like people being like, "What the hell is going on?"
Eating it up.
Yeah.
I think it actually would do. I think it might heal our society if he was reading something a little smuttier. I was also thinking maybe like 50 Shades would be good. I also think it would be great if he was reading. I actually think it would be amazing if he read. Have you ever heard of the book Attached?
No.
Okay. As somebody who went through a breakup after a 5-year relationship, I think it was my rite of passage to read Attached.
Okay.
To figure out what my attachment theory is. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's basically just like the way that you show up in relationships and like what makes you anxious. Like, how do you love? So like for me.
Isn't that like your like physical touch?
No. Those are
sorry.
love languages, honey.
Oh.
What I'm talking about is like, so for me, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting into deep Blake lore right now, but I have anxious attachment style.
Okay.
So like if I wanted to say we're in a relationship, we're dating. Hello.
We are.
So when I'm feeling like distant from you, I just like keep trying to get closer to you. So I'll like text you all the time. I'll be like, oh, does she hate me? Like, you know, stuff like that. Let's say you're avoidant, as was the case in my last relationship. My ex-boyfriend was avoidant.
Yeah.
The more I tried to like get close to him,
the more he wanted to avoid.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And so
okay.
I think it would actually be extremely beneficial if AJ Brown was reading Attached. Because do you know how many men in our society need to pick up that goddamn book to figure out what's going on inside with their loved ones? I think we would heal. I really do. That's my pitch. AJ Brown.
Okay. Hope he hears you out. For your sake.
He's like, I'm good, dog. What?
He's like, and on that note, I will never be reading on the sideline again.
Wait. Actually, also though, I wanted to bring up completely random, guys.
Yeah.
This has actually nothing to do with sports, but it's important.
Okay.
Have you heard of Baby Girl, the movie?
I have heard of it. I've seen the trailer. I've not watched the movie.
When you saw the trailer, did it get you not excited? That's not the word I want to use, but did it get you like, oh, I want to see that movie?
No, it gave me the vibe of like, if I ever watch this, I need to be completely alone because I probably will be cringing at some point, and I feel like I would be so uncomfy if someone was with me watching the movie. Like I just,
I love this. Okay, so the reason why I bring it up in tandem with 50 Shades is because I think that it's kind of like a reverse 50 Shades. Basically, y'all, it's Nicole Kidman and this guy, Harris Dickinson, whatever, and she's the CEO of a big company.
Power move.
And he's an intern.
Oh, that's tea.
Yeah, I mean, going against every HR rule in the book.
Sure.
I'm not condoning this relationship. It is just an interesting study in what happens when a CEO, a female CEO, and an intern get together, and it's kind of like reverse 50 Shades of Grey. I did see it with 3 of my friends.
Yeah.
Day after Christmas.
Any cringing?
Of course, but I was with my girls. What?
Yeah, I could watch it. Yeah, that's like, it's fine. I don't think I would really care that much.
Don't see it with your parents.
I just don't want to see it like in public. Like, let me just do that in the privacy of my own home.
I went fully public.
Yeah, no, not.
But we saw it at like 10:30 at night, and it was kind of like a private viewing experience.
Yeah, because
one woman came by herself.
That was
you.
No, I don't.
That was you. I mean, you went. It would be as if you went by yourself to the movies.
But I still don't think I would go by myself, like in public.
Okay,
I'm gonna do that in the comfort of my own home.
Okay.
But I'll let you know when I watch it.
Yeah, just don't watch it with parents. Don't watch it with your kids.
Yeah,
maybe not even with your significant other.
Okay, yeah. No, definitely not.
I think solo experience is better for you.
Okay, perfect. Good to know.
Meanwhile, in the same game, bringing you back to football, I know you guys were eagerly waiting. Eagles running back Saquon Barkley made a 4D chess move. It was crazy. With his team up big, Barkley broke free and seemed destined for his first touchdown of the game. But instead, he slid to a stop so his team could run out the clock instead of scoring. Why?
Well, because they only needed to get the first down, and then the game was essentially over because they were already up by 2 scores. So they only needed the first down. It was like 2nd and 6. So he needed to get 6 yards. He got 6 yards. And so then he slid and he stopped.
But
that ended the game, essentially.
I'll let you say your piece.
Okay, thank you. Critics pointed out that the slide was mostly unnecessary since his team would have been up by 3 scores. However, it's really the bettors who are the most upset by the decision. People who gambled that Barkley would score at least 1 touchdown in the game lost out on a potential payout. What do we think? I personally don't care that bettors are upset. Like, it's not... This is someone's livelihood and you just happen to be placing money on it. Like, also Saquon, like my favorite part was Devontae Smith, one of his teammates, like was mic'd up. And so the Eagles released a clip of him talking on the sideline being like, why the hell did he just do that? Like cursing him out essentially. And then you see him like a stern dad at a soccer game on the sidelines being like, come here, you, come here, come here. And
I know that look well.
Same. And he's like, why'd you slide? Whatever. And he was like, I didn't want to injure myself. I didn't want to injure other people. Like there's just a lot of factors at play. Like he is in the mindset of, hey, we've already won this game. Yeah. We're going to survive and advance to the next round in playoffs.
And I saw that people were like, but he had the chance to like pad out his own stats. Why wouldn't he do that? But
he's very selfless. Oh. Yeah. And he was saying in the postgame interview that last year he was tweeting out from his couch, I was watching the playoffs from my couch and I like need to get back there somehow. And this is his first time back there. So like, let the man live. Okay, everyone. Yeah. Sorry that your bet didn't work out. I don't really care.
I don't care about them either. Like,
yeah, cry me a river.
When you place bets, you assume risk, honey. Mm-hmm. That's just how it goes.
That's just the name of the game.
Sorry, Charlie. So another play that swung a lot of bets and the fortunes of 2 teams this weekend was the Doink of the weekend. You know I love that word.
You do.
In a win over the Tampa Bay Bucks, kicker Zane Gonzalez's field goal attempt bounced off the right upright and through the goalpost as time expired, giving the Washington Commanders their first playoff victory since 2005. Mm-hmm. It's like 20. That is okay.
It is officially.
It's 20 years now. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
First of all, letting that hit me.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah. It's also the first time a rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels in this case, was able to go on the road and win a playoff game since Russell Wilson did it 12 years ago. So how significant, tell me, is this win for Daniels and the Commanders?
Huge. I think everyone knew Jaden Daniels was having an insane rookie season. This is really just like the icing on the cake. I felt like this was going to be the most evenly matched game of the Sunday slate. So I was very excited for this game, and it proved to be very evenly matched. And it was a crazy game. But I do want to say one thing. So Zane Gonzalez, the kicker, he has been very open with the fact that he has OCD and he has like tics that he has to kind of go through and battle through pre-kicking. So a lot of like the broadcast and like people on Twitter were like kind of coming out and being like, oh my God, he must be so nervous. Like he's freaking out. He's fixing his hair 50 times. He's fixing his shoes and his socks and blah, 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 blah. And it was like, no, those were actually just his tics.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I was so impressed that someone who has OCD to the level that he has is able to like be a professional athlete and like go through a pressure cooker of a situation and then like make it happen. It was off. Crazy. So I was just so amazed by that.
Yeah.
And his wife was on TikTok and making like a funny video about like people being mean about her husband's OCD. And I just think it's amazing that he's been open with it, but then also that he was able to do that and people didn't realize what it actually was and what was happening. And then it comes out after the fact. I'm sure people feel like assholes now, but very cool. Very cool.
Did you also see the video of Jaden Daniels on the sideline when the Doink went in?
Yeah.
He was just
nonplussed.
Like, literally not even a smile.
He was like, okay, next move. Next game.
He's always like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very cool. He's just like cool, calm, collected.
I think I need to take notes.
No. I don't
Caroline is anti-me finding my chill. She doesn't want me to relax.
No, 2025 is not for that. Goodbye.
Next. Okay. So we're continuing Tuesday Morning Quarterback with a roundup of all the coaching changes, I say as I point to my coach hoodie and rumors from the past week. This is going to be fun for me because this is when we talk about individuals. I am going to need a vibe check from you.
Yes, ma'am.
On all these people.
Yes, ma'am.
If we like them. I mean, maybe we're not supposed to cast bias, but just like what the general vibe is. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Can do.
Let's start with the Patriots. So they announced former Pats great Mike Vrabel will be their newest head coach. Vrabel, who played for the team for 8 seasons, won 3 Super Bowls with their franchise. He also coached the Titans for 6 seasons before taking last season off as a head coach. Vibes
are good. People really like Mike Vrabel. I think he was one of the top candidates in this like off-season coaching cycle. I think as soon as the Patriots fired their coach, Gerard Mayo, people were like, oh, it's going to be Mike Vrabel because of his history with the team, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I do have to say that Taylor Lewan, he's a 9-year veteran in the NFL. He is done playing now, but he also played at Michigan. Go Blue. He played.
Find any chance you can.
Obviously. He played for Vrabel for 5 years in Tennessee, and he had this hilarious video that he put on Instagram the other day or so when Vrabel got hired. And if you haven't listened to it, I urge you to go listen to it because he was like, congratulations to all the Patriots players and the Patriots organization. You guys are going to win some games now because like Mike Vrabel is the real deal. He was like, it's about to be really hard for a little bit, but it's going to be really like you guys are going to win games. Those close games that come down to it, you're going to win those games. He's like, it's going to be really hard because you better be on your P's and Q's. He's going to call you out in the meeting. You better know the custodian's name because he's going to quiz you on that. You better know, like, you're on offense. He's going to ask you what are the defensive keys to the game. He's going to tell you in the meeting, but you better be paying attention. You better be taking notes. And he was like, if you don't, like, you'll hear it. You'll hear it. So, I think he's very, like, buttoned up, runs a tight ship. But I think that's exactly what the Patriots kind of need. That's what Belichick kind of was. So I think it's a good fit.
Thumbs up. Good vibes.
2 thumbs up.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys, this was crazy. Lots of tea yesterday.
Ooh.
The Cowboys announced yesterday that they would not be retaining head coach Mike McCarthy. The former Packers coach spent the last 5 seasons with the team, but according to a statement from Jerry Jones on the Cowboys, contract talks broke down, so both parties decided to go separate ways. Now, also last night, they said that Jerry Jones, the owner, has been in contact with none other than Deion Sanders. So Deion Sanders, he's currently the head coach at Colorado. You know, he's like a very big personality. You've probably seen him before. You'd recognize him.
Heard the name.
Yeah. He is the head coach at Colorado. He's like totally turned that program around. And he played for the Cowboys. He was on their Super Bowl championship team in 1995. And to me, I don't know. I think a lot of the coaching cycle is a little bit of like putting different names out there or like interviewing different candidates kind of as like a way to stir some popularity for your own team, stir some popularity for that candidate maybe. But that makes so much sense to me. The Cowboys taking Deion because like he did say the only way he would leave Colorado is if he could coach his sons in the NFL. So that's kind of unlikely because Shedeur Sanders, his son, is probably going to go very early in the draft and they don't need a quarterback. But it just makes so much sense to me because it's like he has the history with the team. He's a big personality. He knows Jerry. So like clearly there's some compatible relationship there. I don't know. That is something that just happened. So I just want to say we should just pay attention a little bit.
So do you have a vibe check? Do you feel positively about Deion Sanders as a person for this job? Do you think Cowboys fans would be happy to have that happen?
I think Cowboys fans are just like excited for a new change in general. So I think whoever the new coach is, that they're just kind of desperate for some sort of turnaround because they're supposed to be America's team. Particularly because Troy Aikman last night on the broadcast, who also played for the Cowboys, said like that Dallas isn't like a desirable team to go to anymore. So for him to say that, I think there needs to be a lot of change. So whoever it is, I think people are just excited for, Cowboys fans are just excited for a new person in charge.
Air, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Deion to me just makes sense. So I don't know.
All right.
Speaking of Deion, so
he's everywhere.
I know, he really is. So people a lot were linking Deion as an option to go to the Raiders because of the thing that he said of I would only go to the NFL if I could coach my sons, because the Raiders obviously have a high draft pick. They are kind of looking for a quarterback, even though Aiden O'Connell started to play pretty good at the end of the season, but neither here nor there. So they were like, oh, it would totally make sense if the Raiders drafted Shador, and then they also got Dion because they fired their head coach as well. So they were like, oh my God, this is totally going to come into fruition, whatever. Apparently, a report comes out that the Raiders have zero interest in Dion. And I found it very interesting. I do have to say this because Ben Johnson, he is the offensive coordinator for the Lions. He's the reason for a lot of the Lions' offensive success this year. And he's going to be like the most highly sought after coach in this new head coaching cycle. He originally said he wasn't going to take the interview with the Raiders, but, quote, Brady's sell job made the difference. So Tom Brady is now heavily involved because he's a Raiders minority owner.
Yeah, weasel.
So he is like very involved in the whole project of who is going to head the Raiders.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? He's fucking Tom Brady.
Yep. So this is just add it to the pot. It's just stirring it up. So apparently he helped convince Ben Johnson to take the interview. So that's just like the power of Tom Brady. So I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this whole Raiders coaching job plays out with his influence, because man's got some power.
Clearly.
Yeah.
It's not even like I have real beef with Tom Brady. It's just like anytime anybody has a little too much power, I'm like, man,
Blake
like,
hates
you
the
gotta make
man.
it more fun.
She
like, I
hates
don't know.
Okay. Alrighty, it is time to close out the episode with a round of Send It. As always, Send It features 4 of our favorite viral moments from the week that you should be sending to your group chat. Blake, as always.
Okay, so did you see the clip of rookie Ravens right tackle Roger Rosengarten on Hard Knocks?
Yes.
So he went up to Browns star player Myles Garrett and he asked for his autographed jersey. It was so sweet. Here's what he actually said.
No, I'm a nobody thing. If I get that jersey after, hey, you in the league, y'all winning games, y'all looking great. You ain't never nobody. I got you. You got me? Yeah. Appreciate you.
So Rosengarten ended up starting for the Ravens this past weekend and had a huge game against the Steelers, holding star pass rusher TJ Watt to 0 pressures, sacks, or tackles. But I mean,
oh my God.
So not only is he doing well,
sweet little baby
I know,
angel.
and he's just like, oh, I'm a nobody, but it's like, baby, you are somebody.
Yeah, no, and
Don't
then
you ever
Myles
say-
Garrett's freaking response, like, what an incredible human.
I know, he could have been like, bro, you're weird, like, leave me alone.
And like, I don't know, it just could have gone so many different ways. And for him to be like, dude, you're not a nobody.
Yeah.
Like, you made it to the NFL.
We need more. I need more of that.
I love that so much.
The other boys need to take notes.
Yeah, for real.
Need more
Everyone
wholesome
just be nice
interactions.
to each other.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, next up on Send It, I have to tell you about this viral clip from the Bills game. Okay, it's very bizarre. So this ref essentially goes up to Josh Allen as he's sitting on the bench on the sideline. And he's like, you can't hear it, obviously, but you can like see the body language. He's like, hand to his chest. He's apologizing.
He, as in the ref, his hands to his chest? Okay.
And he's like apologizing to Josh Allen. And Twitter has gone insane over this clip because they were
As
like,
I always do.
the ref is essentially apologizing for missing a holding call. They were like, if this was anyone other than the most likable man, Josh Allen, people would be up in arms. Like, imagine if this was Patrick Mahomes, who everyone already jokes about having the refs in their pocket, the Chiefs. So it's like, if the refs did that to Patrick Mahomes, people would literally be like freaking out beyond measure. And I just thought it was crazy because I've never seen a ref do that, like, in my life.
Yeah.
And also, dude, like, you know the cameras are going to be on you. So, like,
I'm like, are
maybe
you allowed to just like
do it
admit guilt?
later.
Like
Maybe
that?
just do it later.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you really
Slide
feel
him a note
that
after
bad,
the game. Put a note in his helmet.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Find it for later.
Crazy. So I don't know. It really blew up. But yeah, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've got another one. So how about the Philly cop who took it upon himself at a tailgate before the Eagles game? He pulls up. There's a bench press there. Don't ask why.
You couldn't tell you why.
He shows up and he just pumps them out. Like, I kind of lost count because he was just grinding out these friggin' bench presses.
Yep.
In the viral clip, the police officer, you see him. He just sits down at the bench press in the parking lot and starts hitting the iron. People are cheering him on. What do you think of this?
This is so Philly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why there was a bench press there.
No context. Bench press.
Zero. At the tailgate.
Fuck it, we bench
just gotta
press.
get my workout in. And then like the cop being like, yeah, I'll
I gotta
partake.
hit that. He's
I'll
like,
partake. Why not? And I'm just
He's like, hold my gun. Hold my gun.
It's just like, what is going on? I feel like Eagles tailgates, maybe all Philly sports games tailgates, there's always just something where you're like, that is so out of place, but yet it makes so much sense.
Yeah, I want to go to a Phillies tailgate.
I don't.
No, sorry, not a Phillies, a Philly. Why? I'm going for anthropology.
Oh, actually, I would go with you for anthropology.
Yeah, we're not going to support necessarily. I want to see
like,
the zoo.
Eagles fans scare me.
Yeah, well, my best friend is a Philly girl, so I feel like I would have at least a little bit of protection.
Yeah.
And
Until
guidance,
you don't.
I know.
Okay, because you know what? Here's why. Here's the last send it for the day. Which it's not necessarily like a happy-go-lucky one, unfortunately. But so there was essentially a clip going viral of this Eagles fan that people are calling to be banned for life because he was just absolutely disgusting. I'm not going to repeat what he said to these Packers fans.
We literally can't repeat what he said because he was being that vile.
Correct. He was talking to this Packers fan, this woman, and then her husband was next, or boyfriend, partner, was next to her. And he was saying terrible things to this woman, all in the context of like cheering on her team. I don't know. It was disgusting. And so, but there was actually an update. Big Dom, who is like the Eagles security guy who went viral last year, he identified the guy and woman involved in the incident. The guy will be banned from future Eagles games.
Nice.
The Eagles will be sending the woman Packers gear as an apology. And so that was like kind of a saving grace. But
it's like the bare minimum of what could have happened. I mean, you know what I mean?
Quite literally, what the hell?
I know.
Eagles
and she was
fans.
saying cool, calm, and collected. I
So
would have
was
been
her.
like, you know what I mean?
Her partner was too, because he was like, I couldn't react because I was outnumbered. And also, like, I was just in a sea of Eagles people. Like, I couldn't throw punches.
Yeah,
I would have
that's so
gotten,
true.
like, jumped.
So true, bestie. You know what? He's right.
I just, yeah.
So for that reason, maybe I take back what I said, and maybe for anthropological reasons, I will sit this one out.
Yeah, it's just like those types of fans where I'm like, you are a loser.
Yeah. He needs to, like, this is why AJ Brown needs to be reading different books that target, like, masculinity.
audience,
you know what I mean? Like, he
Eagles
needs to be
fans'
thinking about
audience.
who's out there.
Okay.
Read a book to soften them up a little bit, butter them up.
I love that.
Yeah.
What was your send it for the week?
I mean, it's got to be the wholesome Rosengarten. Yeah.
It's got to be Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Sweet boy. Which is so funny because, like, for such a violent position, you wouldn't, and just like a violent game in general,
Right.
you wouldn't think, oh wow, these guys have like hearts of gold.
I like the
and they're just like so
softness.
soft and sweet and lovely. They do. They are. What sweet little angel babies.
Absolutely. Wait, what was yours? You agree?
No, I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got to be Myles Garrett because it was perfect.
Yeah.
In every realm. Well, that's it for this episode of Well Played, presented by The Skim. We'll be back in studio next week.
Yeah, so be sure to leave us a rating and review wherever you're listening. And check out the Well Played YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm wearing this pretty swagadelic Coach
That's a new one.
hoodie. Is it really a new one? Because I feel like I've probably said that before and like wanted to die after I said it. But yeah, anyway. So
Staying strong with the book.
you can check out this video on YouTube.
And where can people follow you?
Right. It's been a while. BLAAA 4KSE.
You're a little rusty.
I was rusty.
It's okay. That's
And you?
At CG Hendy. Much more easy than that one
that mess,
over there.
yes. But yeah.
Alrighty. Until next time, thanks for listening to Well Played.
The only podcast in a league of its own.